How you doing, everybody? It's your health and fitness specialist, Kelly Brown. And in today's video, I'm going to answer a question that I had left from me in one of my comments. Today's question is, have I ever considered not staying natural? Now, this is a hilarious question to me because the answer is cut and dry. Yes, I've considered not staying natural. So the reason being, and I think the reason behind the scenes of it all and kind of to get into my mind is I am an extremist. And when I do something, I like to go all the way. And so that can be a good thing or a bad thing. It's bad when you don't necessarily have the clarity on why you're doing something. But it's good, it can be helpful if you know exactly what you're doing, you know, what not to do, you know, what your future plan is and all this other stuff. And so for me, when I first started competing, I didn't know that people were using stuff. You know, I didn't know that people were using different, you know, supplements or whatever. And I really didn't have the knowledge about competing. I was just working out just to see what could happen. And I would get bored with my physique and then people would say, oh, you know, you look good, you should do a show. I'm like, okay, well, let me go ahead and try and do a show. So I started doing shows and then I started seeing that I was winning. And then as I started researching more and more about how shows are done and what it takes to move on to the next level and what it takes to be a pro and, you know, what my forefathers before me were doing with their bodybuilding careers and stuff like that and what they did, I started digging and digging and digging, and I started understanding that, okay, they weren't just doing it with, you know, with just regular protein shakes and stuff like that I was taking. So then I was like, okay, well, you know, my physique is this good with nothing. Imagine what it could look like if I put something on it, you know? So then I started saying to myself, I wonder what that would be like. And this is before I started making a YouTube channel and, you know, what it was like to be a natural bodybuilder and all this other stuff. So I would consider like, okay, well, shoot, all I gotta do is X, Y, and Z, X, Y, and Z. So then as I started researching more and more and more, I started seeing side effects and what it could potentially do to you. And those things, then I started saying, okay, is the risk worth more than the reward? Because that's how I think about stuff. I kind of try and play it out in my mind to see if is it worth it to me? Do I want to try and turn pro in an NPC, you know, or compete on a national level in an NPC and, you know, turn to an IFBB pro? And then what actually comes with being an IFBB pro? Will I start making like millions of dollars, or, you know, do they have contracts? And then all this other stuff I started trying to see, okay, is it worth it? Because even just competing, you know, and I'll go back to that in a second. But I'm not gonna do anything and spend a whole bunch of money just because it's a hobby. I'm not that type of person. If I'm gonna spend some money, it's because I'm trying to invest in myself for the future. So with that being said, it costs a lot just to do a show. And I'm not one of those people that just want to be big for no reason and just walk around outside and just be big and cock swole just so that people can always ask me, oh, what you do for a living? Oh, what do you do? Like, I'm not that guy. You know, most of the time I wear baggy clothes, or you wouldn't even know what I look like, or you wouldn't recognize me if you just saw me in my, you know, my regular clothes until I take my shirt off. Then it's like, what in the world? I wouldn't necessarily want to compete and there was nothing in it for me in the future, you know, so there wasn't going to be any big time money in it or something like that. So I started planning out and realizing that, okay, yes, they're competing, but they're spending all this money just to do a show, just to, you know, at the top of the level, you know, the high pro bodybuilders and stuff like that, just to win $10,000. I'm like, there has to be a better way to make $10,000. You know, there has to be a better way to doing stuff. And as I started going to more shows and seeing how the people were backstage, the quality of life as a professional competitor or somebody who just lives life to compete like that, it didn't seem like something that I would want to partake in because it just wasn't, it didn't fit my personality for the long term. I like to do stuff, conquer it, achieve it, then move on to the next challenge. But to be like, you know, I can stick to a meal plan, stick to a diet, stick to a workout for as long as I can get to that show or to that point. Then once I cross that threshold, I want to go back to doing what it is that I like. And I see a lot of people behind the scenes when I'm at shows or backstage, they eating little concoctions and stuff like that I don't even know what that stuff is, you know, and like turkey and ground turkey meat with no sauce and ketchup and hot sauce and all this other. It's just that. See, for me, that's not my style. So I can't do that. Or eating cold food out of containers and stuff, or you know, tuna out of a bag and whatnot. All that stuff is just disgusting to me. So I couldn't have a quality of life that was like that. Anyway, the only reason I would ever take, you know, steroids or whatever the case is to be in that type of lifestyle. And because that's not the type of lifestyle that I plan on, that I can see myself in the future. And, you know, now that I realize that I have a better platform, if I just don't follow the crowd and now I can stay natural, it makes more sense to just focus on doing what it is that I know rather than trying to jump into something brand new, learn a whole system, you know, learn different concoctions and see what actually works good for my body, try and get into, you know, trying to compete. Then I gotta see if I can win. Then I already know I never wanna be a 250, 260 pound shredded, you know, open class bodybuilder. If I was gonna do anything, it would be men's physique or classic physique, you know. So with those being the cases, and I already don't eat enough, so you can't just take that type of stuff and not eat a lot of food. Like I already don't eat a lot, so that's a challenge on its own. So I got to get past that first before I would even add that in there, you know. So I really don't know what my body would look like if I started really trying to put size on, because I haven't done that before. So with all that being said, yes, I've thought about it, but I've never actually thought about it enough to start digging and researching and finding the plug and all this other stuff, you know. So it's just not my style, and I don't think it has to be my style. I don't have anything to prove. Like I'm pretty much better off cultivating the niche that I'm in now, which is natural bodybuilding and how to achieve, you know, certain physiques without any enhancements, you know. And as far as if you're asking the question, if I would ever, if taking supplements and stuff, like regular supplements that you can get from GNC or whatever vitamin shop, is still considered natural, I will take those type of things. I will take those things. And now I've gotten so good at it that I went to a homeopathic doctor and had him check me for things that worked for my body and what doesn't work for my body. So some of the stuff that I was taking, you know, he took all the supplements that I normally take and he checked them with my system and was saying, okay, you don't need this, you need this, you don't need this, you need this. So going forward, if I ever do start really taking it seriously again, or really starting to try and, you know, put some size on or whatever the case is, I know exactly what to take now. I know what's gonna work for me and what's not gonna work for me. And I don't have to play any games about testing stuff or sampling stuff. Like, I know exactly what to do. So it's just gonna be a matter of if I feel like it and if I got the money to start investing in all those things. So anyway, that was a great question. And that question came from Granola Bar Hero. So thanks for the topic. And hopefully I answered the question thoroughly enough and didn't get too off track. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.